Hi, and welcome to today's Pick a Card reading. Will we end up together? Before I begin with the reading, I did want to mention that the channel has a new Twitter account. It's brand new, so there's hardly anybody following it. So if you can remember to go ahead and follow that channel. I am going to post a really amazing coupon when we get 100 followers, and that shouldn't be that hard to get 100 followers. So, let's go ahead and check that out so I can get some really awesome savings to you. I also wanted to say, for those of you who've been following me for a while, yes, I've been ill recently and I need some time to heal, but I am great now. I am so excited about all the new videos that I'm going to be sharing with you guys. I can say that we are going to be doing one for the next 6 weeks on Friday, and I am planning one on Wednesday as well, okay? So we're going to be having at least 3 videos this week. And also, you guys, if you like this video, I would love it if you remember to go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. It really does help because it lets other people know that the content that I'm putting out is good. And it also helps you out because you get more content, okay? Of course, I also offer private readings. That's all below. Anything else you need to know about me is below. Let's go ahead and get started with this reading. Okay, so I'm really excited about doing this reading because this is, it's a pretty big question. It's a pretty important thing. I anticipated that for some of you guys, it's gonna be a no, all right? So for those people, I've drawn a bunch of extra cards. I mean, they're all the same cards are in all of these piles, like the same amount at least, and from the same decks. But I've drawn a lot of extra cards so that we can get to know, for those of you who it's yes, what makes it work, what makes you guys help be together, and for those of you who, if it's a no or if it's a maybe, what you guys can do to get on that path, okay? Because not everything is set in stone, obviously, and I want to be as helpful as possible, and there are a lot of situations that sometimes there's just a big misunderstanding and it's so much easier to correct, so it's usually not a completely negative answer. Usually, we'll see, okay? And of course, you can, this is meant to be a love reading. I specialize in love readings. It's just what I do. But of course you can apply this to a friendship or even, a family member, just as long, are we going to stay in each other's lives, that kind of thing, okay? So definitely understand that. And this will apply to somebody who you're already with, somebody who you're thinking about being with, and all of that. It'll give you an idea of whether or not there's a long-term future for you guys, okay? That said, let me go ahead and name the piles. Pile number 1 is the white flower. Pile number 2 is the purple flower. Pile number 3 is the red flower. Pile number 4 is the yellow flower. Pile number 5 is the pink flower. And pile number 6 is the blue flower. All right, guys, so if you have not picked your pile, go ahead and pause it so that you can pick. Otherwise, we are going to get started with pile number 1. Hi, those of you who picked the white flower, here's your reading. Okay, so we have, the, the 5 of Pentacles, the Knight of Cups, and Temperance. Okay, we have present, living in the present moment. We have the Book followed by the Mice. We've got instinct, we've got growth. We have reward, we have temperance. Again, this is very important. This is going to be a very important aspect. And we have service here. Okay, so we have some really positive cards right here. So yeah, let me go ahead and just hold these up so you can see them. I just want to make sure you can see them. This is obviously temperance. A lot of you guys that are familiar with the Rider-Waite know. And this is also temperance. You can go ahead and read that there. That's the same number and all of that good stuff. I just wanted to make sure you guys saw that the same card comes up. Now, I used to get so excited when the same card came up for multiple decks until it started happening like all the time. And I just feel like when this happens, it just echoes that this is such an important thing that it's coming up twice. Yes, it's a very, very rare thing to get the same card from two separate decks, right? But that's what came up. So just be very aware of this, okay? And I'll get into the interpretations, okay? So I always like to start with the Rider-Waite. Because it tends to be the most straightforward, okay? So here we do have like this relationship has kind of been a situation where not everybody has gotten what they want, or not everybody's gotten what they want yet in this relationship. So it might be a new relationship, or it might be a relationship where there have been periods of times where it really feels like, I mean, really for lack of a better phrase, like one or both of you have been really left on the cold, like given the cold shoulder maybe. Stonewalling might be an issue with you guys. Maybe somebody just stopped communication for a little while, that kind of thing. Or it just might have been a time where you guys went through a winter, okay? And when I say that, I just mean a time where it was almost like the relationship was about to die off, or the relationship was dormant, okay? For those of you who this is a new person in your life and all of that, it's just showing that there was a period of time where the two of you knew you guys, you knew the other person existed, but you weren't really at that point where you were able to recognize it as a potential positive relationship that could be a romantic one, okay? Then we've got the Knight of Cups. So this is a really important part, okay? Because for me, one of you is going to be coming forward, expressing some feelings, okay? And this isn't just kind of hinting around, beating around the bush and just kind of testing the waters, the way that, oftentimes, relationships do, especially at the beginning. This is going to be like a more important gesture. We've got the Knight. The Knight moves fast, okay? So this is going to happen pretty soon. And the Knight making that gesture of, we've got the heart, we've got the flow of emotions, we've got that fluidity, we've got it just kind of progressing the way that it feels natural. So if you guys are in a situation where it doesn't feel natural right now, it's about to start feeling natural because we've got the water with the flow. And then we also have the water, which represents the depth of emotion and that kind of stuff. So we have some kind of gesture that just helps continue this relationship on this great path, okay? Temperance twice. This is the card for Sagittarius, so there might be a Sagittarius in this relationship. If there's not, don't worry about it, but just wanted to point that out for those of you who need that validation. Temperance is, I like to call it the just right card. It's almost like the Goldilocks card, where it's like we've got, we can't be too hard, we can't be too soft, we have to be just right, that kind of stuff. And I really think that as easy as that is to understand, in this particular situation, we've got to go a little bit deeper than just that, okay? Because we're talking about balancing things out. We're talking also about being measured. There's a feeling of very deliberacy to this, like be deliberate, like make a goal for this relationship and then play to that goal and then make your next one, okay? So like make sure that you have that purpose in mind of what you want to do next, and you'll be able to achieve your goals better, your relationship goals, if you do that. Temperance is also talks a lot about balance. It might not be as much about balance as justice is, for example, but temperance does talk about balancing things out. It warns towards not to overindulge, right? But it does say it's okay to indulge a little bit, Basically, when I think about temperance, I think a lot about, we've got this pool of water here, and this figure could just fall all the way through in this pool, okay? And, but they're just getting their toes wet, right? And I just feel like it's like they're willing to explore the depths, but without losing themselves, right? So I feel like this is kind of a warning against a relationship that could become enmeshment, because the two of you are maybe very similar, or you're just really caught up in each other, and that enmeshment, that feeling where you don't know where you end and the other person begins, and that kind of thing where neither one of you guys get your needs met and that kind of stuff. It feels like that's possible right here in this relationship. I don't think it's likely, but it's possible. So I gotta point that out. And at this point, I can answer your question. The question is yes, you guys will end up together to some capacity, okay? Does it look like a lasting relationship? It certainly can be, absolutely. You've got very, very positive cards. But I do want to say that you've got to be patient for it, okay? This is going to be a wait and see situation. If you need something to happen real quick, and you're just like, you know what? I really need a relationship that's just going to start off and it's going to go really, you know, basically you're ready now. This is going to take a little bit longer. Okay. So just kind of keep that in mind. I feel like this would be, I'm trying to measure out. It could take about 4 to 6 months from when you're watching the video before it kind of becomes more official. But I mean, you're going to have fun getting there though, because we do have these expressions coming out. Okay. So do keep that in mind. All right. And really, I've got to say from experience, the relationships that take the longest to start manifesting like that, those are the ones that last. Those, and I'm talking about friendship, and I'm talking about love relationships too, it's a slow burn, but it burns, right? And that's a good thing. So yeah, we've got rewards. So this is kind of, ensuring success, but with the Ace of Gems, we also have this concept that the material world kind of works for the two of you. Okay, so I'm getting like if there is like a long distance situation here, it's like don't worry about that now because something new having to do with the material world is gonna change this. Okay, eventually. Now, on the other hand, if one or both of you are having kind of issues with money, this is another indicator that that's going to start smoothing itself out, okay, eventually, okay? So, and I don't mean eventually like, oh, you'll have to go 20 years before that. I mean eventually like months, okay? It's not, this is a more faster pace given that it's going to be 4 to 6 months, okay? So we've got that. I really think that it's important to go ahead and talk about the instincts and the growth, okay? So when I pulled these two cards, what I was pulling was based on the concept of where one of them represents you and one of them represents your person, okay? Given the people who tend to watch my videos, I'm going to assume that most of you guys are going to be relying on your instincts, okay? But do understand that there is a very masculine energy about this that's kind of like almost even predatory, and it's not just because there's a wolf there. I mean, I'm getting this more predatory thing, and I don't mean predatory like creepy. I just mean predatory like it's important, like there's a thrill there, and those instincts are important. And then the other one represents growing in the heart and really just really being able to reach a point where you or your person is able to fully express themselves and be truly themselves, okay? There's something about this relationship that brings out the truth in both of you, okay? This is, now just figure that these two together will describe your relationship. Your relationship is very, it's very instinctual. It is something that you just kind of intuitively know about, even if the instinct is more on your person's side, and it's really geared around personal growth. Okay, so I really feel like this is a really good indicator that the two of you are going to end up together, because without that growth, if you can't grow in a relationship, then the relationship stagnates, right? So this keeps that flame alive, right? We've got this service card. So I feel like there's something about the two of you that not only do you give to one another like we do in relationships, but there's something about the two of you being together that's a service for the world. There's something that the two of you can put together that will really, it's like the two of you as a force can really improve the world a great deal working together. And it doesn't even mean that you have to literally work together. It's just there's something about the energy of the two of you together that helps inspire other people and that kind of thing. So really, keep that in mind. This is, again, very, very positive cards. We have present, living in the moment, and making sure you're able to see the love in your current circumstances. This is so important. I think that this is one of those things that you just kind of learn as you get more and more experience. But in love relationships, especially the ones that last, we've got to make sure that we're constantly looking for ways to express our love, regardless of the circumstance, regardless of what's happening. We can be in love even if maybe our person is being frustrating or not really doing what we want them to do, right? Because love is just about celebrating that person exists. And I feel like that's something you can do, absolutely. And as long as you're able to do it, your person will be able to mirror that right back at you, okay? So this is like my favorite little aspect of it, so I saved it for last. Those of you who are familiar with Lenormand will know that the mice take away from something, right? And we typically typically don't want to see the mice, but when we have the book and we've got the book closed here, when the mice take away from the book, it's taking away from secrets, okay? So you will find that just like in this growth card here, okay, that you and your person are really able to be your true selves around one another. It's almost like it's a layer, because there's like your true self, what you know of your true self now, and then there's the true self that your partner will bring out of you. And that is so beautiful. And it's almost like you're going to be revealing your own secrets to yourself, like secrets that you didn't even know you had. And I just really think it's just such a beautiful reading, you guys. I really love this for you guys. I mean, this is a very big yes. Of course, it might not feel perfect now, okay? But we are getting some very positive things here. So over the course of time, this relationship can be a very strong, very lasting relationship, okay? I would say, for me personally, this would be worth the wait, okay? But again, if you guys, if you're in a position where you have got to get into a relationship right now and you just don't want to waste your time on anybody, then go ahead and move on, because it will take about 4 to 6 months before it gets to that point where you're feeling okay. That this is good. You don't have to watch videos on here to figure it out, basically. And then I'd go out of business, right? But no, you guys, seriously, this is really beautiful. I love that Temperance came out twice for you guys. If you want, go ahead and Google that card, learn more about it. If you need some more explanation there. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out the Twitter account for enormous savings, and I will see you at the next reading or in a private reading in the meantime. Hi, those of you who picked the purple flower, here is your reading. Okay, we've got transformation. Oh, well, you guys have it easy. We've got the lovers. Wow. Okay. We have the 2 of Swords and we have the Page of Swords. Okay, very intellectual. Here we've got the Child followed by the Rider. We have joy, but we also have grief. How interesting is that? Okay, we have passion. We have the 2 of Gems, which is change. That's interesting because we've got transformation and change, and then we have imagination. Okay, yeah, this is a nice one. I would say that whether or not you guys end up together, you are destined, you are meant to end up together, okay? You're meant to be in a relationship with this person, okay? Now, I mean, it's really, really hard to get to a position where you can like kind of get yourself kicked out of such a divine partnership. It's really, really difficult to get there, but I mean, it is possible. But it just doesn't feel like that's the path for you guys, given all of this really great stuff here. But I am going to start with the Rider-Waite, so we're going to get there, okay? So first off, we start out with the Lovers. You guys have a magnetism there. There is something about this person that you just cannot get out of your head. This person's really important to you. This person's sticking around. You can't imagine your life without them, and they can't imagine their life without you either. We do have a problem here with communication. And it's the problem with communication is that both of you are such great communicators. And isn't that weird? Why would that be a problem, right? Well, the communication problem is that both of you are very cerebral people. You analyze. If you don't consider yourself a thinker, like over your heart, for example, you do analyze. You do a lot of processing. You do a lot of analysis with what you're looking for. You see things in layers. You don't just see things as they are. Of course, you see things as they are because you're human, but you're able to analyze things and put things together really quickly, okay? And so we have this phenomenon where even though you guys have this beautiful connection, the thing about the Two of Swords is that she's covering up her heart here with this cross, okay? So she knows things could go one way or the other, but and her heart is crossed. I think it's a female, I'm not certain, but the figure here has got their heart crossed. Okay, and I think that that's important to keep in mind. If you guys have this kind of relationship where it's just almost a divine relationship, you guys just fit together really, really easily and all of that kind of stuff, we've got this moon that's giving us a little bit of a glimpse into what to do when you feel like you don't know which way to go. Go with your intuition, okay? I definitely understand, especially if you're a cerebral person, that might feel difficult, but just go with what if your intuition, if it feels wrong, then it probably is wrong and don't do it. If it feels right, it probably is right, go for it, okay? Either way, no matter how much you guys analyze and everything, you'll finally get to a point where you are able to communicate easier, okay? A lot easier with one another, but you'll both still kind of stumble, and it's because you guys just overthink, both of you. You just overthink things. Another thing that's going on here that is very apparent to me is your person probably thinks about you like twice as much as you think that they do. So that's another thing. Yeah, keep that in mind. We've got passion, and with the Ace of Roses here, this would be the equivalent of the Ace of Wands, okay? So I just wanted to explain that so that it'll make more sense when I say that there's a lot of sexual energy. I mean, I feel like for a lot of you guys, there might even be some sexual tension because the two of you haven't gotten to that point yet. Or if you have, it's like, maybe that is just so exciting that is something that really drives a relationship right now. There's nothing wrong with that. You guys are compatible regardless of where you are in this relationship. The compatibility is there, and it's just going to keep coming and coming. This card also can suggest that a relationship is also very passionate, very intense. You might have highs and lows. That can be the case sometimes when we have these kind of divine connections. It's like, and just understand, you guys care so much. That's why you guys overthink. That's why you guys analyze. That's why you guys get kind of anxious, because you care so much. When you see your person getting anxious, when you see your person acting from fear, know it's because they care. It's not because they don't like you. It's because they care. And some of that stuff can just really get really intense, okay? And with time, one can learn how to temper that, but right now isn't the time for you guys, okay? Right now is just the time to be passionate, okay? So we do have change here with the Two of Gems. I think it's really interesting that we have the Two of Gems here and we have the Two of Swords here. I think that that's really important because that also lets me know that there is some duality here. You'll probably notice that your person is kind of opposite you, okay? Yes, you get on well, but your person's probably opposite you, or you'll find that the two of you might feel a little out of sync sometimes. Don't worry about that. You'll get to the point where you're on the same page and everything. It's just you guys complement each other really, really well. With the twos, though, we also have this kind of juggling act, or this kind of feeling like, well, with twos, there's a lot of indecision, okay? But here's how we get out of that indecision. Yes, I mentioned the intuition, especially with the Two of Swords. But how we get out of that is, instead of seeing each other as two separate entities, see each other as one, okay? There's you, there's your person, and then there's the relationship. And the relationship is both of you together. So when you don't know which way to go, ask your person, hey, which way do you think this should go? That kind of thing. Because your person's probably going to just be relieved that you're even asking, and they might even go ahead and kind of throw it back at you, like, well, what way do you want it to go? But as long as you guys will be able to synthesize something that's better than what either one of you can think of on your own. So you guys work very, very well together. So, we were talking about passion and all of that. We've got joy and grief. What this lets me know, though, is that you guys are both willing to open your hearts up to one another, okay? And be able to be truly yourselves. Now, this was very, very similar to the first reading, and this part at least. So I do want to kind of mention that, but with this grief and joy, it's like you guys are willing to explore the whole spectrum of emotions. Again, with that passion, and again with this kind of this kind of relationship will have huge swings, okay? But it's just because there's so much in between and nuances to explore. I would imagine, I'm even actually getting that most of you guys that are watching this are very in tune with your feelings. If you're not, then you just happen to be like the 15% that's the other side. But I would imagine that you're pretty in tune with your feelings, but your person is just learning about all of the depths of emotion that they can feel and all of that kind of stuff. And that can also cause these mood swings, okay? Unless there's a clinical diagnosis, of course, I don't feel like this is mood swings like literal clinical issues, okay? I just feel like this is just the blossoming of this passion and this duality, okay? We've got the two of gems, change, this would be the two of pentacles. We've got the two of swords, we've got joy and grief. We've got this idea, this concept of duality, okay? That's the full experience. So imagination. This is where you guys can really grow. And the way that you grow is by being very creative together. Find a way to create something together, even if it's something really small or it seems kind of silly. Plant a garden together. Maybe if you're musicians, write a song together. You might want to paint a painting together. You might want to do one of those things where you draw a person and you do like half, or maybe you do the head and then you cover up the head and they have to do the body, or just whatever just some way of creating together. As the two of you are in a relationship, you're creating that relationship, so you've got that. But I'm just getting that it's important for the two of you to use your imaginations, especially given that you're so cerebral with these swords. We've got just so many ideas generating between the two of you that if you guys just talk on the cerebral, what are you thinking about? What of the what's something new that you've been thinking about lately, or what's the latest thing that you've just wanted to research to death, that kind of stuff. Talk about that, because you guys can really play off of one another when it comes to that cerebral level. Okay, so transformation. This is great. We've got change already, so this is kind of an echo of the change. This is another reason why I use more than one deck when I'm doing these readings. But with this transformation, we're talking about how this relationship transforms you into something better because of your love, okay? Sorry, I had to get a drink there. Anyway, what I was saying is that is what makes the two of you really work well together. The way that I said that you guys were complementary and this duality and everything, by going through these dualities, you're able to change and hold both of those extremes in your hands at the same time, and know that that's the whole spectrum, right? So I just really feel like this change, this transformation, it's going to look different for each and every one of you. But we have this transformation that's getting both of you to a more evolved state, okay? So with the child and the writer, we do have this as being a relationship that's going to want to go fast, okay? The writer is more of a cerebral type too, so we have that echoing this Page of Swords and the Two of Swords. But we also have the child as being, very imaginative, very creative. And then we also have the newness with this, ace here with the passion. So we've got something new, we've got something that's moving really quickly, we've got something cerebral, we've also got a message. You're going to probably hear from your person very, very soon. So for those of you who haven't heard from your person in a while, although I would think, given this energy, that most of you guys are in contact, just know you'll hear from them soon, and that's going to be like, they're going to be the ones telling you all of the stuff that I've just said. Okay, guys? I really love this reading for you guys. This looks like a very positive reading. It looks like something that you guys could definitely, you know, end up together for a very, very long time if you want to pursue this relationship. You know, I mean, I just think this is really great, you know, regardless of what the cards say. I hope that you guys have a wonderful relationship with the person you're thinking about. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed your reading. And of course, you know, we've got that Twitter account. I'd love to, you know, post that awesome coupon, let you guys save a lot of money on my private readings. And if you need a private reading, you know, that's below. You don't have to, you know, you've got that down there. Hi, those of you who picked the red flower, here's your reading. So we have action, we have the Magician, we have the Wheel of Fortune, we have the Six of Pentacles here, we have the Anchor, followed by the Tree, we have Expansion. Well, this is a nice one to get, right? We've got Soulmate, we have Love, we have Triumph, and we have Pride. Pride can be, you know, pride can be an issue for some people. So one thing that's really obvious about this to me is that this is one of those situations where, will you guys end up together? Absolutely can, if you want to, because you have free agency here. You can choose to expand this, or you can choose, you know what, maybe this isn't something I want. The Wheel of Fortune can go either way in this situation. It wants to go where the two of you are together, okay? That's where it wants to go. That's where your person wants to go. But you are the Magician here. You are able to manifest what you want in this relationship. And I think it's so important to stress that, you know, you can make it happen if that's what you want, or you can grow and you can become something different, okay? Let me go ahead and go through the cards, starting with the Rider-Waite, okay? So we have the Magician and the Wheel of Fortune. We've got two major Arcana cards, and I know that some people pronounce it Arcana, and that's probably the right way to pronounce it. I learned it Arcana. Please bear with me. So with the two major Arcana cards, it lets me know, yeah, this is a very important relationship. This is a major relationship in your life. This relationship, no matter where it goes at this point, it has already made a big impact on you. Okay, so that said, you guys have a really nice balance between the two of you, where you're able to give and receive. And I feel like both of you met each other at a point in your life where you were a lot more mature, let's say, than maybe your contemporaries, or you were at a place where you can really understand the importance of that give and take, okay? Because it's like, not only are you able to meet your own needs, but you're also able to give a little to your partner, and not only is your partner able to meet their needs, but they're also able to give a little to you. And I understand that some of you guys might not be with your person, but I'm saying partner because it just feels so nice, you know? But yeah, so we do have a situation like that. But again, we do have the Wheel of Fortune that's letting us know it can go either way. You are the one in control. And I think it's just, I know I said it before, but it's so important for me to repeat it. It is up to you whether or not you want this to work, okay? So I would like to go to these next ones. And I want to point out, if you guys can see them, try to get closer. They're both aces, okay? We have the Ace of Wings. That's typically the Ace of Swords, right? And then we have the Ace of Shells. This is typically the Ace of Cups. So the key words, we've got Triumph and Love. You guys have a unique ability to be on the same page, both in your minds and in your hearts, okay? That can be difficult to reach in a lot of relationships. because I'm kind of getting this idea of free agency here, I just want to point out that it seems like it would be wiser to stay in this relationship if it were me, because I would love that intellectual stimulation along with the emotional. Okay, I feel like that would be very beneficial, right? Just keep that in mind, all right? Just keep in mind that we've got, and you're able to replenish that too, okay? With the aces, you're also able to continue to build more and more love, build more and more success as a result. And the Ace of Wings, the Ace of Swords also refers to being able to get these flashes of insight, these great ideas, the ability to communicate well, and all of that kind of stuff. So all of the foundation is laid here, okay? So we have this expansion and soulmate. So this relationship is very, very special. Like I said before, it's probably something that's made a really huge impact on you already. I get a little bit nervous when I do see the word soulmate, though, because that means something different to each one of us. And that is going to be a very charged up word. So just keep in mind that with this, we have this imagery that lets us know that the two of you wanted to meet one another. You wanted somebody in your life that was like the other person, okay? You both feel very fulfilled for finding one another. There's probably been some kind of coincidence or some kind of just some kind of synchronicity that got the two of you together too. Because of that, the two of you are kind of protected, because other people coming into their life, even if they're fantastic people, they don't have that mystical feeling to them, okay? So that's something that's really stands out for the two of you when you're thinking about the other person. With this expansion, though, you're able to stay in this and also grow yourself. And it's interesting because I think another reading, if not both, we're talking about a similar thing. With this expansion, though, I feel like it's more on a cerebral level, like you're able to grasp bigger and more complex concepts because of this person and because of this relationship. And I feel like those concepts might cause you to feel like maybe there's something else out there for you, okay? Again, I feel this on you, the person who's watching this, not on your person, okay? I think that's also important. We've got action. You know, things are going to happen. Things are going to happen on a pretty natural timetable, okay? Pretty natural or a little bit faster, okay? So keep in mind that if this is a situation you want to continue with, you've got to make certain that you make that decision as quickly as possible, because I'm just seeing that a lot of feelings can get hurt in this situation, because this person adores you, and this person really adores you. This person feels like you're their person. You are their absolute person, okay? I feel like between the two of you, if anybody has any issues about it, it's more on your end than it is with the other person, okay? We've got some issues with pride, and I feel like it's on both sides. And it's like this can become a block, because like you'll dig in your heels, they'll dig in their heels, and it's like the two of you will get stuck where you're, even though you have this Ace of Swords here and normally you can communicate just fine, it's almost like you take a stand on something, and it's like you want that person to understand you so much that you're not willing to understand them yet until they understand you. And then they're sitting there on the exact same side thinking the same thing. It's like they just want you. It's like both of you want to be right. And there isn't really a right or wrong. You guys aren't adversaries. You guys aren't on two ends. You guys are on the same team, you know? And I feel like the pride issue comes up when the two of you see each other as different, okay? And of course you're different people, I get that, but your relationship is, you know, both of you want this relationship to be happy and pleasant, right? So this thing with pride, I really feel like there's a aspect of this that's saying choose your battles, but there's another aspect of this that's saying make sure that you're willing to listen to your person. Make sure that you're willing to really hear what they're saying, because you might be unable to hear them for what they're really saying because you are so stuck on them hearing what you're saying. It's really, really healing if you're able to say to a person, even if you don't know, you know what, maybe you're right, and then explore that with your person. It will diffuse a situation. It will get a situation to where it's not getting more and more heated. Okay, and I feel like this is a tactic that either one of you could use and do really, really well with. Okay, so just keep that in mind. This is the only negative thing I'm seeing here. With this anchor, it's like you're going to be stuck with this person. If you take the course of inaction, if you decide not to do anything, you're going to be with this person. And I say stuck with this person almost like it's a bad thing. I actually don't feel like it's a bad thing because, again, we've got the expansion, we've got the growth here with this tree. We have the two of you becoming better people and evolving together and all of that great stuff. So it's one of those situations where the only thing that I could see that might be lacking is maybe there isn't enough passion there on your end for you to want to stick around. That's the only thing that I'm seeing that might be lacking, just because we have so much of the head and the heart, but I don't have a whole lot of passion. Yes, there's action there, and that could be, interpreted that way, but there might be a lack there. Or with the soulmate card coming up, and it being red, it might be that it's one-sided. Like there's one person that has much more of an appetite than the other, and that might be causing an issue as well. So just keep that in mind. This does look like it's a beautiful relationship. It's definitely one. If it were me, I would want to stay in it. But of course, you guys have to make your own decisions, and you are free to do what you want. This can go either way, but it's up to you. Just know that it's up to you. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed your reading. If you did, please remember to like and subscribe. It just means so much to me, and I just love that. Also, that new Twitter. The new Twitter account, we just need like 100 followers for me to post a really huge savings. I'm really excited to post it, so if you want to go ahead and follow, that would be great. And if you need something a little bit more specific, of course, you can always order a reading with me in the meantime. I'll see you at our next reading. Hi, those of you who picked the yellow flower, here is your reading. Okay, we've got patience, we have the star, we have the 9 of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands. Okay, we have the clouds followed by the dog. We have release. Interesting. This is very interesting when this happens. We have impatience, and then we have patience. That's interesting. Okay, we have celebration, we have generosity, and then we also have death. All right, guys. This is a situation that is a lot more of a maybe than it is a yes. And I'm just going to go ahead and say that up front because it's important for you guys to know that. I'm sorry, I don't like giving negative news, but I'm not going to sugarcoat this or anything. Here's where you are. You guys are at a point where both of you are very vulnerable right now, and because of that vulnerability, both of you are feeling a little defensive. Okay, as long as you are loving towards your person's going to start feeling more secure, and then they'll be able to give more security to you. Okay. Because we do have this concept of abundance here, right here with the Pentacles. Okay, the 9 of Pentacles. This is a lady of luxury. She can afford to sit around and go hawking all day and all of that kind of stuff, right? And And also, you know, we've also got this concept of maybe even royalty and that kind of thing going on. So we definitely have the resources for the two of you. We've got the conditions being right for the two of you to stay on and become really great. But it's like you guys have to just give each other love right now. That is so important right now. We have the Queen of Wands here that's also letting us know that you have like the sun is right around the corner. Okay, we've got the sunflowers. We've got, you know, we've got the pyramids in the background. We've got this warmth. We've got this passion. We've got this. It feels like such a promising relationship. So if you're feeling cold, if you're feeling lonely, and if you're feeling vulnerable right now, you can have that warmth. It's just that you have to give some of that warmth too, okay? And that can be difficult sometimes, all right? So how do you get there? Either you've got to release the relationship, you know, which, like I said, that's why it's a maybe. Or you've got to release something that's holding the relationship back. Is there something that you need your person to do? Or is there something that you just need your person to maybe call you every day? Or you need your person to do this or that? And it just, whatever it is, you've got to release that quote unquote need, okay? Because your person's going to be they're going to do their own thing, not because they don't respect or care about you, but just because that's their personality. You can't change who they are, okay? You can get them, you can be patient with them and allow them the time to change. But they're not going to be able to just all of a sudden be perfect, okay? They need, it's like, I just feel like you guys just need a little bit of time where everything's calm and everything's nice, so that the two of you are able to get to this point where you're working together again, all right? With this impatience card and followed by the patience card, I just feel like this is one of those situations where you might be feeling a little bit like you're kind of swinging from one end to the other with your person, like, you know, oh gosh, why won't they just get it? Why don't they just do this or that or whatever? You know, again, with this release, the way to come out of this is to make sure that you are telling your person that they are doing such a good job with the things they're doing well. The things they're not doing so well, they'll start doing it as long as they don't feel like they're a loser, as long as they don't feel like they can't get anything right because they're not doing this one thing, okay? Let them know that you really love the things about them that you love. Again, that's all they need. They need to feel loved, and that's what gets you feeling loved, okay? This warmth is definitely possible. This is not a no, it's a maybe, okay? So with that patience, instead of the impatience, and, you know, just waiting some time for this I just feel like the two of you have gone through something, and you've got to get to that point where you are stable again. And I don't mean like, you know, oh, you need to calm down. I don't mean like invalidating any of your feelings or your person's feelings or anything like that. I just feel like there's just been a lot of excitement, a lot of intensity, and the two of you just need to get to a baseline so that you're able to relate again. Because right now I just don't feel like the two of you are relating, okay? With the death card, it's really interesting because the release card for me is a lot more of a signal that this might not work out, versus the death card, because the death card promises a change. It's a rebirth, you know? When you die to your old self, you're able to be something new, be this warmth for one another. And I really feel like that's possible as long as you're able to give that of yourself. But if you can't, don't force it. I mean, if you can't do that, if you just need your person to be a certain way, or if you know, you just maybe it's like maybe you don't want to take any more, you know, crap from this person or whatever it is, you know, I don't know. I just know that I'm just getting this feeling that there's something that you need that your person's not giving to you, and it's like you feel like you need it, but you don't really need it. You just want it now, but it's going to end up not going a good way if you don't get it eventually. but it's just something, but it's something that you will, it's like, it's something that you guys, you just have to wait for just a little bit longer. So we do have this celebration card and this generosity card. So we do have, you know, with this, talking about luxury and having, you know, maybe finances or materials and that kind of stuff. I do feel like you guys are having fun together, though. You're able to give to one another, whether it's material or not. You're able to give to one another, and I actually feel like it is gifts. Okay. So I feel like your person's probably going to give you a gift soon, and they're willing to give of themselves to you in the same way that you're willing to give of yourself to them. I don't feel like that's a problem at all. But yeah, again, we've got this clouds now on the, we've got the light side of the clouds here towards this, which means it's getting better, okay? But still, that doesn't change the fact that it's still cloudy, just kind of like this card looks. It's cloudy and it's been confusing. It's probably, I mean, it might even get to the point of clinical depression or being really, really down. But it's getting better. It's starting to clear up. And it's almost like you guys have to start all over with just being friends, even being able to see each other on that level, before you're able to get to a point where you guys are on the right path again. But what I love about this is that it's telling you exactly what you need to do. All you need to do is be patient. That might be a little bit harder for you than it might, you know, but I mean, I know that I have issues with impatience. I mean, at least I think I do. All of my friends say, well, no, you really don't. You're fine. But I feel so impatient sometimes, so I don't know. But, you know, you've got to be patient with your person. You've got to understand it's a process for them to be what they can be for you, the best that they can be for you, what you need. But in the meantime, you've just got to praise that person for what they are doing that you love, so they know that they're your person, that you love them, that you love this aspect about them, okay? You guys are both very vulnerable right now, and because of that, you're both prone to feeling defensive around one another. Just give that love, give that unconditional love. Like, it's okay. I know you're going to make mistakes. It's okay. I make mistakes too. Surround this whole situation with your love, and that is going to transform the whole situation. So this is something that it's like, I think it's going to be up to you with your attitude about this. Do you have an attitude that this can work? If you do, you're going to be fine, okay? Do you have an attitude that it's like, really, I'm kind of feeling like maybe this isn't going to work, that kind of thing? It might be time to release it, okay? Either way, you guys are both, I mean, if you don't get anything else out of this, please hear that you guys are both feeling vulnerable, so you're more likely to be a little irritable with one another, okay? And the way that you can get to a place of more calm is by showing love, telling the person what they're doing right. They'll give that right back to you, okay? So that you know what you're doing right. And that will bring that hope that the star promises, and he'll give you that direction that the star promises as well. So you guys, you know, it's not it's not a no. It's you know, it's a maybe. It's a very firm maybe, and it really is up to what attitude you want to take with this. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for this, you know, experiencing this reading with me. I really hope you got something out of it. You know, if you liked it, go ahead and like and subscribe to this video. It would be great. It helps the YouTube algorithm say that I'm a good reader, so that more people can see me. You know, don't forget to follow me on Twitter. We've got just this really, really great coupon coming out once we reach 100, and I want to make sure everybody has the opportunity to get that awesome coupon. And if you need any help in the meantime, you know, I do have, you know, I do private readings, so you can always reach out to me there. Otherwise, I will see you at our next reading. Hi, those of you who picked the pink flower, here is your reading. We've got detachment, we've got the hermit, we've got the three, the 3 of Wands, we've got the 3 of Swords. This is interesting because we've got 2 3s, and that I feel like that's important. And then we've got the Hermit's number 9, so that's 3 times 3. So yeah, we've got some interesting angel numbers going on here. We have the Paths followed by the Moon. That's a very interesting one too. We've got Faith. We've got Wisdom. We have Fulfillment. We have Passage, but we also have Doubt. So this is a really interesting one, okay? I really feel like those of you who are watching this have really gotten in your heads about this, and you're really trying to figure out, like, it's almost like you're on the edge of your seat, like, what is going to happen? I need to know what's going to happen. And it's so terrible when uncertainty puts us there, okay? And it's one of those things that, I mean, I've just got to say, nobody's going to be able to help you calm down about that but yourself. But I have a very good map to how you can get there, okay? Because it's not bad. We've got some really good stuff going on right now, okay? So just, so understand that. I'm going to start with the Rider-Waite, and we're going to see how we can get this in a really, really good place, okay? So what we have right now is we have a situation where gosh, and in all of the time that I've been giving readings, there's very rarely a time when I see anxiety like actually pushing people away. This is a situation where I am seeing anxiety kind of creating this vibe, this kind of negativity that feels uncomfortable for both of you, not just your person. I feel like it might be a situation where you're making yourself feel uncomfortable because you've got this uncertainty. But I just want to point that out, because even though it might feel like you can't control it, there are ways that you can definitely control it. Okay, so yeah, we've got the Hermit. You might notice that your person's, a little detached. They might be acting weird. They might be short with you lately. They might be unavailable right now. And in fact, your person might be in a situation where they are unavailable, in that maybe they're married and they're going through a divorce, and you guys started dating, or you guys started seeing each other before that divorce was finalized, that kind of thing. Or a similar situation, right? But I just feel like your person's kind of difficult to find right now for you. And given that your person is your compass in a way, of course you're feeling lost. Of course you're feeling that anxiety, right? But here's the thing about this. In order to get your person out of this and be able to like move past this, so that your person's being more receptive and giving you more attention and all of that great stuff, you need to step back and look at your own guiding light, which is great because you're primed to do that right now anyway, according to the energy here. We've got this sense of an endless waiting. It's like, gosh, when is this going to happen? It's been so long. This might be a long distance relationship. I'm only saying that because of the water. We've got this person waiting. It's almost like they're waiting for their ship to come, that kind of thing. But I feel like this is like a longing, a waiting for something to happen. And it's like, I don't feel like this person would be standing here if there wasn't something they're expecting, Why are they expecting it? They have faith in something, and something about this, they have faith. But one thing that's really interesting is that because their heart has become so much more open, because of this person, because they're feeling, because they're able to, because they care so much, when they think something might be going in a negative course, they get real tore up about it. They start overthinking. Their thoughts end up destroying what they're feeling, what they're able to intuit, and all of that kind of stuff. And this waiting feels agonizing. The time feels like it might even have a weight even, okay, to it. And it just feels like there's so much pain here. Part of that is that you were dealing with some of the stuff that you felt when you were younger, and realizing that it doesn't have to be that way. Part of it is that you are dealing with something that maybe happened when you were younger, and you're afraid that it's going to turn out the way it did before. What's really amazing about this, though, is that there is wisdom in your heart, not in your head. You can't analyze this. It doesn't exist on that level. Yes, the two of you might be able to share a really great cerebral connection. This is in the heart, okay? You are going to, you're going to be able to find what you need, not by listening to your head, but by taking that energy, that ball of anxiety that might be in your head right now, and pulling it down through your neck into your heart area and feeling it through your heart. That's where your wisdom is. That's how you're going to be able to calm yourself down, because one thing you'll know, it doesn't matter if you believe in yourself. It doesn't matter if you believe in your person. You have faith in the relationship itself. You have the faith that this is going to go somewhere. This faith is going to either make or break this relationship. If you are able to continuously have faith in the fact that the story of the two of you guys ends up with you guys together, because that's where the story wants to go, all right, then you will be able to get there, okay? Because we have, look at this, we have fulfillment, okay? Hopefully you guys can see that. I don't know if my camera is... Yeah, there we go. We have fulfillment here with the 9 of shells, and we have passage, okay? And with the 6 of wings, you know, the 6 of wings is the same card as the 6 of swords, okay? And passage is an important thing. You know, first off, we've got ships passing, right? But we also have, like, this is going to pass. This is going to pass, and it's going to be replaced with something much more calm. You're going to be fine. In the imagery on the Rider-Waite with the 6 of swords is a person in a boat, sometimes with a child, and they've got swords in their boat, and their backs are facing the audience, and they're trying to get away from these negative thoughts, okay? So it's like these more negative thoughts, these anxious thoughts, this feeling of uncertainty is going to pass. You are going to be fulfilled. You are going to be able to get to that place, right? You've just got to detach. See, with the detachment, you've got to detach from your head all these swords. You've got to pass it. You got to let the thoughts go and feel with your heart, feel with your intuition, because that's what's going to be guiding you. That's what's going to be true. The doubt here is coming from your head. And let me go ahead and read this. I feel really guided to. I release the need to know all the answers. You know, and really, by watching a video like this, no matter how amazing the reader is, you're not going to be able to get every single answer to every single question, right? But what I can say is everything that's laid out before me, including this, we'll get to this, is showing me that you guys are going to be fine. Just believe in it. You've just got to believe in it. You've got to seek your own counsel, get calm, and just know that this anxiety surrounding the concept of maybe the two of you aren't going to work out, or maybe the two of you, maybe this person's never going to talk to you again. I just feel like there's so much catastrophizing. And it's like, as long as you're able to release that, then you are going to be fine, because it's never going to be that bad with this person. This person is a reasonable person. Maybe this person is a little bit more introverted than you'd like, or maybe a little bit more, you might call it secretive, but just like private, right? Maybe more slow to process their thoughts. So they stay quiet until they're able to process their thoughts and express themselves to you. Whatever it is, your person's not a bad person. You know that. They're not going to hurt you in this disastrous way that you think that they might. Your person is a good person. That's why you care about them. And your caring about them is what's causing this anxiety, not them doing anything wrong or them not caring about you. So we've got two paths here. And the path to what you want is going to involve using your intuition. We've got the moon. The moon represents the intuition. The moon also represents feelings, okay? So we've got the head and the heart with the moon. So we've got the wisdom and the faith. You know, this green border here represents that this is the heart chakra. That's why I keep mentioning the heart here. I wanted to explain that. And then this purple is talking about the third eye chakra. So we've got the heart chakra and the third eye chakra both being represented here, showing us that what you need is to not get in your head, but get more in your heart and feel out the situation intuitively. And so, yeah, we've got, and the moon is a perfect, you know, it's perfect to show that. The moon is often associated with intuition. The moon is definitely is associated with phases. It's associated with the emotional side. The moon is a very feminine symbol. So that femininity, regardless of what your gender is, that femininity shows this emotional vulnerability here, and the emotional depths here. And I just want to say, for those of you who read Lenormand and maybe you're like, the moon's a little bit different than that. Sometimes I get especially when I touch the cards, sometimes I get a very different interpretation than what is normally said. And I have to look at it all in context. And in context, the moon talking about your workplace destiny just doesn't make sense to me. You know, in this particular spread, we're talking about a love reading, we're talking about relationship reading. So that's why I'm using the feelings oriented in that. So I do want to explain that, because sometimes people ask, you know, they're like, why are you interpreting it like that? So really, I just feel like you're getting in your way. And it's like, it's frustrating for me to have to say that, because I know that for some of you, that is like the worst thing you want to hear, you know? It's like just horrible. But it just feels like you're getting in your own way by being so nervous about it, and by being so attached to the idea of what is going to happen next, that kind of thing. It's like you already know. You don't need to seek out these answers, because it's like you already know that. There's some aspect of you that already knows the answer yourselves, and you can access it yourself. Again, imagine that energy in your head as just this big ball of energy, and pull it down into your heart, and then see what it feels like there. If you can do that visualization, that will be so helpful for you to get yourself calm and understand that you are reaching fulfillment with this. Okay, that detachment from making things out to be a certain way and having to go in a certain logical way. You know, it's like you've got to realize that sometimes reality is much better than anything you could imagine. And I feel like sometimes, because things don't happen at a certain time, or they're not progressing the way that maybe you want to, you're thinking that maybe everything's just not gonna work. But it's like you've got to just reach that point where you realize that it's gonna progress the way it wants to, and it wants to be there. Okay, it wants to be fulfilled. Okay. You know, release the need to know all the answers. Know what you know, and that's all you've got to do. All right. This is a very beautiful relationship. It's just about learning that lesson of, you know, kind of connecting more with your heart and your intuition. And even those of you who are like, oh, but I'm so emotional and I am intuitive and all of that, it's like, this is just really amplifying that for you. Okay, guys? Thank you so much for watching this reading. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. That really helps me out. I really appreciate it. Check out that Twitter and follow us so that, you know, we can get that coupon out, because I really want to help you guys save money and all of that. I will see you at the next reading. It should be on Wednesday. If you need me in the meantime, I have a lot of same-day readings even. All of that information is going to be down below in the description. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys. I will see you at our next reading. Hi, those of you who picked the blue flower, here is your reading. So we have tolerance, we have isolation, we've got renewal, we have, okay, so we have sorrow, and then we also have the Eight of Shells, so we have sacrifice. So we've got some maybe not so great feelings going on here. Let's see what else we have. We have the Seven of Cups, the Ace of Cups, and the Sun. Okay, well, we know why. There's some activities because the Sun needs to come out. Bam, we've got the Sun again. And we have the Star, and we have abundance. So this would be a very, maybe not the most solid yes, but this is a yes, okay? The two of you will end up together. I don't think there's a whole lot you can do to mess it up. You know, sometimes it feels like maybe somebody, maybe a person, somebody, one of you is getting in the way, you know, like shooting yourself in the foot, I think is a term. But no, you guys are fine. There's just so many different ways to go about this, and I feel like one of you is really needing to process right now. It's probably the more masculine in the relationship, but one of you really needs to process, because these are new emotions. These are new emotions, and it's like this person doesn't know if they feel if it's good or not. They just have to figure out, is this a good thing or not, right? Another thing your person is struggling with, and I really feel like this is so much on your person and not so much on you, this is one of those situations where this is what your person's going through, and that's what I'm supposed to tell you. You know, your person's been through a lot of sorrow, okay? I feel like they might have been cheated on in the past, or maybe they watched somebody like their mother or their father cheat, you know, when they were a child or something like that. There's a lot of sorrow with maybe a past connection, or just feeling very vulnerable that they could really, really get hurt. And then there's also some sort of sacrifice that they have to make. They know that they have to be stable for you. Okay, there's something inside of themselves that feels like they might not be stable enough. Okay, and so they know that they need to get past that. What's really great about this is when we have the Lenormand Sun, the Lenormand will touch every single card in the spread, okay? Even if it's not a Lenormand card. So this puts a positive slant on all of these cards, okay? So even though there's sorrow, it's like, it's still positive. It's like the sorrow means something for this person. They need to go through this so that they know that you're not going to hurt them like that. Even though they're going to have to make a sacrifice, they're happy to make that sacrifice, because they want all of this to come to light. They want the truth out there. They want that happiness and that joy that you promise them. And so if it feels a little bit weird because your person might be, you know, isolating themselves and withdrawing right now, just know that it's right now, all of that energy is becoming renewed, kind of like this Ace of Cups, where we've got the emotions just spilling out almost like a fountain, like it's continuing to just bubble and come out like that. And I really feel like this is going somewhere really great. An abundance of feelings is going to happen. We've got the sun, we've got the sun twice, we've got it just shining on everything. An abundance of happiness and fulfillment and excitement and all of that wonderful stuff. Now, tolerance is an interesting thing, because I really think that right now, and I do want to point out, some of you guys might be the one that feels like you need to isolate yourself. Maybe you're processing through things. You've got to figure out, is this person going to hurt me? You know, what are the things that I might have to give up for this person? That might be what you're going through, okay? And I think that is true for some of you. It's probably most of you, it's not going to be this. But for some of you, you're the person that's isolating. And you're isolating because you're afraid to get hurt. You're afraid this could be, maybe it's a too good to be true kind of situation, kind of thing. But you're here where you have abundance promised. We have happiness promised. With the Star, we also have that this could be a really major component of your destiny. And it's just so important. This might be a relationship that's like predominantly online, or are you talk a lot online, or maybe you text a lot, because the stars can sometimes represent networking and that kind of stuff. That's not gonna, well, it's gonna be true for most of you. I was gonna say it's not gonna be true for all of you, but yeah, it's gonna be true for most of you. But I feel like the star has dual meaning there, that it's like, there's a destiny there, but there's also this kind of like, there's some kind of online presence, or maybe text messaging, or maybe you actually write out letters to one another, and it's like the communication is kind of a little quirky in that way. There's not as much face to face. So just kind of keep that in mind. But the tolerance is about, it's okay for you to take your time. It's okay for your person to take your time, because they're going to get to that point where they are all in, okay? And that is going to set the stage for whether or not you want to have a long-term relationship with this person or not. This is really, really positive. I mean, this is really positive. I know it has sorrow in it. I know it has sacrifice, but this is just life. This is what happens when you're in a relationship. You do have to face some of your fears. You do have to sacrifice to be in a relationship. That's just the way that relationships are, you know? Sometimes your person's going to need your love when maybe you'd like to get some me time in. And sometimes you're going to need your person when maybe they'd like to get some me time in, you know? And that's just the way of it. But those sacrifices don't necessarily have to be negative, because you get what you give out, and it's, you know, again, you guys are going through a renewal phase, and the sun's going to come out. If you are at a point right now where you just are feeling so much in the dark, like you don't have any answers, or you feel like maybe there's some secrets or something, it's all going to come to light. I actually don't feel like your person is being secretive, though. I feel like your person's, you know, if your person's in this kind of withdrawal state right now, where you're not seeing them or not interacting with them the way that you would like, it's because they've really got to process their things. They've got to pick out their options, not their options like there's you and there's all these other people. I mean, they've got to pick up their options as like, how can I fit this person in my life to where this person is a permanent fixture there? And that's it. You know, you guys are just, I just feel like you guys are just really great. I almost like don't even want to say anything more, because this is really a situation where it's just, understand your person's different from you, and that you've got to understand that sometimes they come from a different place. That can, you know, that is such a simple concept, yet sometimes we forget it completely. Sometimes I forget that, you know, my friend over here might not think about this the way that I do. Maybe they're not as excited about building a garden out of rotting sticks as I am. And I might misinterpret their, like, oh yeah, that's kind of cool, for like just hating me, you know, or something like that. But no, it's just because they're just really not interested in that, you know. They'd rather, you know, do something else, not plant a garden out of rotting sticks. I use that as an example because I did actually plant a garden out of like these logs and everything. I promise I won't get into it, but there's a way that you can make a garden from like the stuff in your backyard, basically, and I did it, and it was great. And for some reason, none of my friends understood that it was like really, really great. They were just like, oh yeah, that's great, Kassi. I'm like, hey, no, it's really awesome. This is so cool. Yeah, whatever. But yeah, you guys, you're fine. You're fine. This is getting to a positive point. If it's not already, you guys, some of you guys might actually already be in this place. But I do feel like, as far as the time frame of all of these different readings, this one's going to be the one that comes the quickest, as far as like this summer, you guys are going to be fine. You know, I mean, you guys got a lot of really great stuff coming out. Oh, and I say this summer, you know, for those of you who aren't watching the time that it comes out, I'm saying the next 2 months at the very, very most. Okay, you guys will be fine. So thank you so much for, you know, watching this video. Of course, I always really appreciate a like and subscribe if you don't mind. It helps YouTube know that I'm a good reader, and it helps other people know that, you know, maybe that MomentsAre has something, you know, going on for them and all of that good stuff. Don't forget to check out that Twitter account that I have in the description, because it, you know, I really want to give away this like awesome coupon. it'll be $10 off any reading, you know, with me, and it's going to be for the first 10 people that order once I post the code. So I mean, it's a really, really great deal. I mean, you can get a same day reading for $15 if you know, so it's a really, really good deal. So yeah, thank you so much. I will post another pick a card reading on Wednesday, so I will see you then. Or if you need to get a hold of me in the meantime, you got something private that you really want to get settled out, you maybe need things to be a little bit more detailed, of course all of that's in the description. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you guys. I'm so excited about posting more videos, and I will see you at the next reading.